All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream here. All right, welcome to the live stream. Another Grease Monkey live stream on a Sunday. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody had a good week and a good week. And yeah, so we're back here on this Animatic. I had a pretty good weekend. I watched the movie Flow, the movie that won the Oscar and was made in Blender, and I thought it was pretty good. Definitely would recommend to watch, because I thought it was neat. So yeah, that was cool. And I saw the trailer for Tron Ares, and that looks like a cool vibe movie. Very excited for that as well. If any of y'all seen Flow or that trailer, I mean, like I said, I recommend the movie Flow, and I think the new Tron, maybe it's not going to be a good story, but it's going to look cool, and that's what I think that movie should provide me. So yeah, let me fix this camera. Anyway, we're here, back in this Animatic. It's about 4 seconds of little animation. I was gonna go further, but I get in these live streams, I get really, I get so over projects so quickly. So we'll review what we did last week. So last week, what I was trying to figure out is, I'm gonna be on these live streams. I'm gonna be trying out different ways to be doing storyboards. This was one way to do it, which now in retrospect, I think I would not do it this way. But basically, I got some mannequins and I posed them to be in, I posed them, sorry, I got a reference file, which is like these two people fighting. Everything's in the description, the links. And then I posed them in accordance to, you know, what I got here. Let's see if I can, this is a camera here. Here you go. So, you know, I set up the camera in a way at the end of that live stream, but this isn't the camera that I wanted. What I wanted to do was I wanted to pose every single one of the kind of like the keyframes, the key shots, so I can then play with the camera afterwards. I chatted with my a friend of mine who uses Blender for storyboarding, and I think he recommended something different where I would work out the cameras first, and then I would just go straight to grease pencil and do no mannequin posing. I guess in my head I did the mannequin posing because, oh, let me turn down this music. I don't know how loud the music is. Okay. I did this mannequin posing because I thought that if I were to just pose all the characters and all their keyframes, I'd be able to then pick the cameras afterwards and just have more fun figuring that out. In retrospect, it took me like the entire stream to pose these mannequins. As easy as it was, right? Like it wasn't even like a hard thing. It just took a long time to do. And that was annoying. So maybe going straight into grease pencil using the 2D, 3D workflow would actually just be more beneficial. But I had to get this out my system. I needed to figure out that this is not a viable option. But regardless, the next one that I do, I'll do it the way my friend suggested to see if that's better, and I think it will be. For right now, we're going to work with what we have, and what we have right now is about 4 seconds of one, you know, anticipated punch here, a punch to the character falling, a missed kick, a run, a jump up the wall, a punch, and a super punch to the face. Kablam! And then, you know, right against the wall there. So yeah, so 4 seconds. This is all I'm going to do for this shot. And then on the next one, maybe I'll continue further down, because this clip is super long. If you see it in the link on, I got it from Twitter, but this is like an excellent fight choreographer that I found. I think they're Japanese. And this fight is just pretty rad. It feels very like anime for me. Like just even like all the fights and stuff, and it's like mostly like a big person versus a smaller person fight, and I like that dynamic a lot. So it's very interesting how it looks. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna set up this camera. So I'm gonna just delete the cameras that I have now, not the reference camera, the normal camera. There you go. We're just gonna delete it straight up. So that camera does not exist. We'll hit home there. Okay. So what I did was I put my mouse over the timeline, I hit the home key, and that kind of like spreads it to the amount that it should. And then I'll just minimize this there. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I think we're just going to start picking the cameras. And there's actually an add-on that comes with Blender that I have not used, but will be using now to see if it's good. My friends recommended it, and it's good. They say it's good. So we'll go to preferences, we'll go to add-ons, and I think, what is it? Is it called camera rig? Or is it under extensions? Get extensions, camera rig. There it is. So this add-on here, add camera rigs, basically it'll set up different rigs for cameras that kind of simulate real world rigs. I think we're gonna see, you know, like having the camera on a crane or like on other things. Let's see, but they recommended this, so we're just gonna install this. Boom, it's installed, and we're looking at here, blah blah blah. Yeah, so let's see where this camera rig is. I think it's in the Shift A menu here. So with Shift A, camera, and then we got the camera rigs here, right? Under camera, we see that we have dolly cam and crane cam and 2D camera rig. So I think we're going to be using dolly and crane throughout this, which should be a good. And let me make sure all my settings are good here. Okay, there we go. All right, I think we're all set. Anyway, so let's use these camera rigs and kind of explore what this tool has. We're gonna minimize all our collections here. In the scene collection, I'm gonna make a new collection. I think I can hit C, that makes a new collection. We're gonna right click or hit F2. And then we're gonna call it camera rigs. So once again, yeah, this add-on, I think it comes with all Blender. You go to get extensions, type in camera rigs, and then yeah, just install it. And once it's installed, you'll see that it's here in the Shift A panel. We'll go to camera, and then we've got the two camera rigs. So let's test out what these do right now. So let's check it out. So I'm gonna hit Shift C, and I do that to mess up my scene here. Oh my goodness. There you go. Oh. There you go. So Shift C so I can put the cursor in the center. So when I hit Shift A, it'll appear in the middle. So Shift A. Camera. Dolly camera. So let's see what this dolly camera is all about. It's using an armature. So that's pretty cool already. And we have the rig here. And we could change it from dolly crane 2D. So that's pretty cool. And let's see if we can make this the main camera, and I'll make it the main camera for this viewport here, where it's local camera, and we'll type in dolly camera right here, and that'll force it so when I hit 0, or is it period? It's 0, we can see that we're in the camera rig now, right? So I'm gonna go into this scene and make our stuff visible. So let's make all our stuff visible here. Extra, bones, lights, relationships. Maybe extras will take off. Okay, cool. So right now, you'll see on this left side, our camera. And I'm explaining it as I'm seeing it. Maybe I might be wrong. But anyway, we're going to see here that this is our camera. This is where the camera, I would assume, sensor is. And this point here at the end is like the target of what it's looking at. We're gonna test it. I'm gonna hit Control Tab, and that's gonna take us into pose mode because this is an armature. And then yes, that's exactly what's happening here. Right now it's snapping, so let's take off this snapping. And there we go. We got a camera rig, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reverse this. I'm going to set the camera mode on this one, so we're looking through the camera. We'll hit home, and we'll also take off all the stuff there. Also in this camera, I like to put the passport, I forget what it's called, passe part out. Anyway, that basically just makes the borders black, so that's what we'll do, just because I don't want to see what's on the edges there. And we're also going to take off the header here, so it's just pure what we're seeing here. So this is our scene. I have this center camera here to see the entire scene. We'll hit home again here. Oh, we don't need to. We'll just make sure we're set up. There we go. So I have the whole scene here. We have what our camera's view on the top left, and maybe like this bottom one is nothing. It's just rendered in a different way. I guess we can get rid of it for, we can get rid of it for right now. So I'm just clicking on the corners, and then kind of like dragging down. That makes it go away there. There we go. So we got our whole scene here, and then we got our camera on the top left. Cool. So I'm gonna move out of this mode, and now we got our camera. So let's mess around with some of this stuff here. Also, I'm gonna make the rigs for the characters, which are right here, invisible, so we can't see the rig. So I can't see that one's rig, and I can't see. Where's our hero? There's our hero. Oh, uh, hero, and then we'll make that invisible. I think my hero collection is in the wrong place. So we'll put it under character. So we got hero and villain in the right place. Bone shapes, and we're gonna put this kind of like at the bottom here. So, and we're gonna color these red because we don't need to know what those are. For our hero and our characters, we're gonna name all the collections, or not name them, color them blue. For our scene stuff, there's nothing in here, so we're just gonna erase the scene stuff. It's never too late to organize your project file, so we'll delete that. For our utilities, we're gonna make them yellow. There we go. So our hierarchy's already looking better. Control S to save, and yeah. So we'll keep it moving here. Okay. So I'm glad I got these characters here. So boom, 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 and then they move, and it's actually, you know, just seeing these 4 seconds already done is such a relief, because it took me the entire stream last time. It took me like 4 hours, which feels like a lot, but I guess it's like a normal amount to do here. So let's select our camera, and we're going to move it on the y-axis. And we're also going to select our camera and select some different settings. Right now it's at 50 focal length. And I wonder if, like, how is this attached? So now we're going to do some exploration of this thing here. So this is a driver. That's why it's purple. That means that it's getting its settings from something else, right? So I'm going to hover over it. I'm going to right click. We're going to click on edit driver. Nah, not maybe edit driver. How about like open driver editor? Okay, let's see what this is connected to. So the lens is connected to a bone called camera lens. The offsets onto a bone called lens offset. And then everything else is kind of like has a constraint on it that controls it. All right, so let's see what these bones are called. This one's called aim. So that's cool. Let's see what this one's called. This one's the camera offset. So we have the camera, and we're essentially like offsetting where the camera position is. And that's camera. Where's the camera lens? Where's that bone? Let's see if we can look at it. So I'm going to go into the rig, and we can see all the bones kind of like in this drop-down hierarchy here. And in this hierarchy, we got aim, camera offset, there's that bone. Bone collections. I'm not seeing the lens. What's it attached to? Or do I have to just change it myself? I may have to change it myself. I don't think I do. I think it is attached to something. So let's right click, open driver. Let's look at this again. Okay, so this is saying that the lens is attached to the dolly rig, which we're on, boom, boom, on a pose bone called camera, and maybe it's a property called lens. This may be a property. I think it's a property. So let's do that. So the properties would be in this menu. We'll click on dolly rig. We'll go to item. Here's the camera rig. There it is. So this is where we change the properties here. Okay. And then let's see if these properties are actually with me in pose mode. They are. They are. I thought they changed for a second. So that's cool. So this camera, once you're on it and you're in the pose mode, you have all your options right here kind of set up for you to set up the different camera. And oh look, it has like some different options here. Set dolly zoom, shift to pivot, swap lenses. That's pretty cool. So let's test some of this stuff out. If I were to swap lens, interesting. So it like moves the whole camera. 100. Interesting. But when I change, what's interesting about this is that like when I change the focal length here and I put 100, it doesn't move anything. It just sets the focal length, right? If I put it back to 50, it sets the focal length. But if I hit this little option here and I hit swap lens, sets the focal length to a specific value and shifts the camera to match that same framing. Huh. That's actually a very neat like tool, because then you could do like that Jaws shot or the Hitchcock or whatever you call it, the dolly zoom, and do that. So you could basically, that's cool. So I could be like, oh, I want to be using my 50 millimeter lens, but I want the framing, this same framing. So then, okay, very interesting. Let's see what other stuff does. Shift to pivot. Let's pull over. Offsets the camera and aim such that the aim bone is above the root control. Offset the camera and aim such. I don't understand what that one does. Let's see. Shift to pivot. Oh yeah, how about set dolly zoom? Use the aim bone as a focal length dolly zoom effect. That's interesting. Let's see what that does. Okay. So you can basically attach the options of the focal length to the bone itself. Let's just remove that. I kind of want to keep it the same and have it look at different things here. Okay, cool. So that's pretty cool. So we have set dolly zoom, We got the clipping start, clipping end. That's cool. The shifting of the like the I keep stuttering. The shifting of the what is this called? I guess it's like the sensor plane. It's always pretty interesting because you'll get like some warp stuff, right? So that's pretty cool. It's kind of like if you had a perspective, like if you do drawing or whatever, the perspective, and then you just kind of shift the view so it's over here, even though the perspective is going towards somewhere else. That probably doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. Depth of field. Set depth of field to aim. So this is cool because then like wherever this is at, then that's where it'll be focused if there's like some sort of blur or whatnot. And that's pretty cool. Viewpoint in front. Oh, I could have just done the past part out here. I didn't have to go into there. I got composition guides. Let's turn on the center. It's not appearing here because we have a bunch of stuff turned off. So let's turn on stuff. Which one is it? There it is. So let's turn off everything except camera guides. So no floors, no extra, no bones. We'll keep color opacity. Okay, cool. So we got our camera outline there. So that's pretty cool. By outline, I mean the composition guides. I like having the center one just so I can see where the exact center is. And let me remove this header here. And what else? And the thirds is pretty good. So having like this blocked off is pretty interesting. Actually, I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Thank you for waiting. Okay, so where were we? We were at using this dolly cam, which is pretty neat. And it has a bunch of other stuff. Aim lock, that's pretty cool. Blah blah blah. Passport. So overall, this camera is pretty cool. So we're gonna test the other one, and then I think we're gonna be using this one, and then we're gonna start finding the camera shots within this animation here. That's what we're doing. Okay. So let's delete this. Delete hierarchy. Let's hit Shift A. Let's bring this down. Bring this out. Shift A camera. We did dolly cam. Let's do crane cam. Cool. So this is like having, like the camera on an actual crane, which is pretty cool. And let's go into the camera here. And we're going to move this back. Like if we had an actual camera, if we actually had a set. This probably has all the same stuff. Swap lenses, set dolly zoom, all the stuff here. Oops. So let's do this. We'll grab that, and then we can aim at the action right here. And let's see how the craning works. There you go. And then we got the crane that goes up and down, and we could do like a crane shot, like, ooh. Make it real, make it cinematic. So that's pretty fun. That's a lot of fun there. And I guess that's like the whole thing of this thing, right? Like this doesn't move. This rotates. Okay, so everything's pretty much the same except that this is like attached to a bone that goes up and down and simulates the crane. Doesn't look like we have any other extra options. Oh, except crane arm height and crane arm length. So we can make the crane real tall and make the length real long, and then we can bring this out on the Y. There's the action, and then we could do something where we grab the crane arm and we lower it down. And it looks like it only rotates on like the x-axis. So, oh no, it doesn't. It rotates on all the axes. But the camera always continues looking at the action, which I think is actually pretty cool. So this could be cool, especially if it was something like, let's say the crane length was like super long, like this. And we did something like we're coming down, get some real movie cinema shots here. Okay. Cool. I like both of these. Fun stuff. We're gonna erase. We're gonna get out of pose mode, and we're gonna go into the crane. Okay. So we're gonna use the first one, which was the dolly one. And that's what we'll end up doing now. So let's do that. We'll do camera rig, Shift A, camera, dolly camera. We're all set up. We'll hit 0 on this. We'll put the passport out on that. We will put in the center. And maybe we'll just keep the center and just keep it less busy. And now we got our camera that we can start. I guess, moving around here. So I'm gonna think about this. I went to film school, so I'm gonna think about this like in terms of like if I'm on a set, how I would choose these shots and stuff. So let's kind of explore some of these shots here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is the focus. I'm gonna put it on the Y, and I'm gonna put it like right on the action, right? So the action is like right here on the Z, kind of like right there, right? And then as we move the camera around, as we move this camera around, we can really figure out what we're doing here. Cool. So we got all these scenes, all the different aspects that we can do. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this at 0. So I'm going to 0 out this camera rig. And then we're just going to move the camera around. So we have like our center spot where all the action takes place. And I'll only be keyframing kind of like where this camera is at. So let's move both of these backwards. Maybe up to like here. We'll do that. And then we have the camera there. So that's cool, right? And then we get the camera, which then always is looking at the action currently. Well, not the action. It's looking at whatever I'm pointing it at. So that's cool. Okay, so let's see for our first keyframe where we can be, where this could be, you know, an interesting shot. I think the way that I think about this is that in this shot, let's see if I can show it here. In this shot, we have we want to really emphasize that there's like a big person about to punch a littler person, right? Kind of like the big looming force. We really have to sell the fact that there is a giant, there's a grown adult attacking a child. Not literally, but like, you know, that sense. So let's move the camera until we get a shot where there on the left side, we can see like the hand being cocked, and that's where we'll do our first keyframe. So let's do some exploration here. Maybe the camera can go up a little bit. And maybe the emphasis will be on our character here. Put it right on their face. Maybe like right in front of their eyes right here. Cool. And then we'll move the camera a little closer. Oh, that's the offset. We'll move the entire camera either closer. And then we will maybe use a tighter lens. Like maybe we'll do it like 100. And we'll put the camera like over here. Oh no, we should do it maybe through the perspective of the smaller characters. Let's see if that works. We'll do something like this. We may go back to 50. There it is. This is like super tight though. All right. Let's see if we can. There. There, we kind of want to make them look a little bit smaller on frame. Like, would it look good if we were like this? So this is more like a diagonal shot, right? Like, it's like the cocking of the, and then we have like the leading lines of the eyes there. I think the hand being there kind of makes it look weird. Probably can move the hands, but yeah, this looks less threatening. So I think we should do it the other way that we had it. So let's bring it down. Let's look at it from above. Let's bring it over here. Let's look at it from the back. We'll bring it down. Oop. All right. Let's see, let me think. Oh, and we're here. Maybe we're way too low here. Maybe something like this. Maybe a little bit more at the side here. And maybe we do untighten up. Maybe we do an 80 instead. But honestly, this makes me just want to like reposition the arm so like the arm is a lot more menacing. Like higher up. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see. If we go to the villain, bring back our arm, we could see where these bones are keyframed. Let's select both of these bones. Okay. So we'll go back to the first frame and I like this. I like how this looks because you can kind of see that the character is smaller. I just think that we should really cock back this arm. We're gonna take off mirror mode so it doesn't move both. And we'll like move this back just like further up here. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but like doing is the arm like this? The arm like this? It's probably flat. That's what it is. It's flat like this. There you go. There we go. This feels like a good, kind of like a good cock back here. There we go. I think that reads a little better there. Like that's coming right for your face, you know? So what we'll do is we'll hit A, and then we'll hit I, and that should keyframe all this stuff, I think. Is it A? It's I, right? Am I hitting I? I'm hitting I, right? O, I, yeah. Okay, I guess it is I. Okay, so we got that going on. Looking nice. Looking good. We'll go back to our camera. And now we'll do some more positioning here. I think in this shot, I also want to do a little bit more emphasis on the, just looking at it here. There we go. Just really sell this. Bring this up a little higher. So they're taking up most of the screen. They're also invading their side of the screen, the right side. Like that. They're in it. I think this is pretty good here. Okay. So, I'm just gonna keyframe all of this. So I'm gonna hit I. I think it keyframed everything. Yeah, I kind of keyframes the entire thing. So, maybe it's too many keyframes, maybe it's not. I just kind of want to hit one button. So yeah. Okay. I like it. That's our first keyframe. And then our next keyframe, let's see when it happens, is the punch right here, which is like no time at all. Just like bam. Like, let's see what it looks like. Like, how can we emphasize this? Like, maybe this doesn't look great, but let's see what we can do here. This wall is kind of bothering me. We're taking out the wall for just a second here. There we go. All right, let's see where we can land here. I think we should probably still, I guess, emphasize the size difference here. Like this. Okay. Let's hit I on everything. There we go. And let's see how fast that is. That is like... I forgot about that sound effect. It kind of scared me a bunch. David Garnell, thanks for subscribing to me. You couldn't tell, but that was a jump scare. I was very shocked. Okay, so I think this is good, except would it look better if this was like we were further out, like we go to a 50 and then we position this and then we get closer? Maybe would it feel like it has more impact? Let's see. I mean, I don't know, I just watch movies. No, I still think shooting from underneath is still much better. There we go. We'll select everything. We'll hit I. Let's see if that... I think we're gonna have to put that third keyframe to see where we end up, because right now it's stopping there. It's kind of jarring and it doesn't feel good. Obviously, we'll add some impact to it, but let's add where we end up. We're gonna end up... The next keyframe is right here. Okay, so let's see. Let's see where we end up here. So right now we're gonna start following them falling onto the ground there. So let's put that on them like this, and then figure out where would be a good spot here. We may end up doing all of this and I just scrap it at the end because I don't like it. We'll see. So if we're seeing like this, it goes boom. Then we got like a weird transition there, right? I think we got to do this faster, so we'll move the keyframe earlier. Maybe not. The camera looks real janky right now, and it has a lot to do with like the linearness and what we're choosing. Everything looks ugly in the beginning. It does this weird, I guess, motion. I think the motion up is like what's jarring here, because we also don't see the in between frames where that person's falling, right? We just see them get hit, them on the ground. right? So yeah, I guess like doing it the way my friend was suggesting by like figuring out the camera first and then doing the drawings might be better. But so if we're gonna select these keyframes, I'm gonna hit T and we're gonna do Bezier. Let's see. And then there's a couple things I want to change here to make this a little better. So I'm going to remove the location keyframes. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that looks weird. I'm also going to remove the rotation keyframes. I put back the position, and now we're going to just take away the rotation. Okay, I think it going up, which is the Z-axis, I don't like it. Let's take off that keyframe. Honestly, this may not all. Interesting. Okay, so I took off the middle keyframes for both rotation and location. But I feel like at this point, we should be somewhere else. Like, you know, this is a lot harder than it looks. I'll be honest. Making a shot look good it takes a lot of thought, you know, and you gotta like really trust in your intuition and stuff. So if we do something like this, and I hit I, man, I kind of want a floaty camera, you know? Or, honestly, or this just isn't working. Because if we're going to end up on the ground here, because the original video, let's bring up the original video. Let's do that. Is it reference? Yeah. Here it is. All right, so in the original video, like, we start off, it's all done by somebody who's standing there, right? So it's like, we start off with like the punch kind of behind, and then we like swoop down to the ground, and we keep focus on, I'm mostly talking this out loud for myself, but yeah, we hit the punch, and then we kind of swoop down, and we keep kind of like, our sight is always on our smaller character. Like, we stay on them the entire time. So I think that's what I'm going to start thinking. So I'm going to take off all these keyframes. We're going to delete them all. Excuse me. Oh, I got to cough again. I'll mute myself. Okay. So yeah, so we're in the original reference here, the punch. Also, we gotta take off some of this stuff here. There we go. And take off this. Okay. The original punch, we start off shoulder level, and we end up on the ground, and we continue looking at the person. So let's just simulate that. So I'm gonna hit A to select all the bones. I'm gonna hit Alt G, which resets the position, and Alt R, which represents rotation. Alt S2 if you want to reset the scale. Okay, so let's do this again, and try and simulate the original camera and see if we can like understand what's happening here. So we're gonna move the camera back here. We'll hit Y, and then we'll hit what it's looking at. GY, GZ. We're going to start at shoulder level. So let's put our camera right at shoulder level, which will be like right around here. And we'll make the camera kind of like look up. Here. And then we're going to keep the focus on not that person, but this person here, right? So we will keep it posted here. Cool. All right. So let's keyframe this. I don't like the negative space on the right there. So let's fix that by just moving the more in the center here. There we go. Yeah, we'll probably have to reposition the arm there, but anyway, let's start off like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit I on the things that I need. I thought there was like a, I don't know if they changed it, but when you hit I, there used to be like a menu that came up with all the different keyframes you can do. Let's see if it's not Shift I. Is it Control Shift I? Alt Shift I? Alt I? Nope. I'm telling you, there was a button to press. Anyway, we'll just hit I on all the things that I want, right? So it's going to be here for the position of the camera. We'll hit I over location, rotation, and we'll hit I over location, rotation of, oh, not really the rotation. I guess it'll just be the location. And then I think that's it right now. Okay. So these keyframes, I put it in the wrong place. So I'm going to move it down to keyframe 1. And then let's move this camera down to where we're like at like knee level, right? So let's do that. This is kind of what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to replicate the camera from the reference. I wanted to kind of like to pick my own camera, but as I'm like working my own, as I'm working with this, it's becoming like difficult to like understand what's even happening here. So right now we're like something like this, right? And we can move it a little bit further here. There. Oops. We're kind of like right there. All right, so we're gonna select both of these, and if I hit I, would it do everything? It does do everything. There used to be like a, man, what? Let's see if it's in here somewhere. I'm just gonna make sure it's not in the preferences. I know that there's like, you hit I, and instead of doing, yeah, it's like right here, right? Use visual keying to animatically, blah, 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 enable scene, blah, blah, blah. Only insert keyframes only for properties that are already animated. So I'm gonna select that, because that's what I want when I hit I. I don't want to do all of it, everything, right? Like, let me make sure that that's what I think it is. So if we go here and we go to and I hit I now, it still does everything. I don't want it to do everything. Maybe doing something wrong here. Blah, blah, blah. Where was I? Animations. Gym PA animations. In the timeline, the keying button, you can limit the fields it's keying. Thank you, Jim. In the timeline, the keying button, you can limit the fields it's keying. So right now, I have it right here where it's selected. Only show selected. Is there a button that needs to be toggled? Only show errors. Keying. Insert keyframes as I. Keyframe type. Key handle. So it's not like. Nope. Dope sheet. The timeline at the bottom. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is part of my not my add-on, an add-on I have. So that's not this. Oop, this is the wrong thing here. Let me take that away. Because I don't have auto keyframe on. Is that what you're talking about? Like this right here? Like putting the auto keyframe and doing add and replace only active key set? Because what happens here is that now anytime I move the thing, it animates the thing when I move it. But I want to, I kind of want to press I when I'm ready to press I, but I guess we'll just do it this way. Timeline, drop menu, keying. Let's see. Timeline, keying. Am I wrong here? Yeah, we're in it. Timeline, keying. I may be an idiot, Jim, because I can't. It's fine. It's fine. I'll just do the thing that I was doing here. And I'll just do the auto keyframing for it. Okay. That active keying set, you were right there. The active keying set, active keying set here. Okay. Insert keyframe, delete keyframes, cycle. Available. Ah, thank you. Thank you. That helps me out a ton. So we're not going to turn this on. Which is weird because now this is red still. Okay, no, it's good now. Okay. Thank you, Jim. That helped me out. I appreciate it. I'm Blender rusty, you know? Like, it's been a while. Okay, so let's see. So I think we're here. Now now it keyframes the ones that I want. And the only ones. Oh, I forgot the keyframe though. Let's see. There. There. Okay. So I think what we'll do in this stream is just work out the actual camera and then see if we can pick our own camera. Like I said, I definitely want to I want the flexibility to not do the camera in the reference at all. Like I just want to like pick my own cameras. All right, so it looks like over this kick here, we're a little bit further back. So let's do that. There. There. And we kind of go, we got a body shot here. Guess we don't have to see the feet, but we do have to see like the duck. All right, and we'll finesse this afterwards. This is great. You know, I get to learn and make mistakes on stream live. And feel fine about it. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, we do the swoop. By here, by this keyframe, let's simulate this over here. We got them in frame. Maybe we like move over a bit here. I don't know if we need to see their feet, but we will try. I don't know if it looks better. Let's see, is that better? Or seeing, let's just do where we see their feet. That's fine. Maybe we get closer. There you go. If I hit Y twice, then I can just push in to the direction of where it's pointing. So that's fun. Okay. All right, so there we go. We'll select both of these. Again, we'll hit I. All right, so going boom, boom. I don't like this move because, I mean, we once again, we don't see the keyframe, the in-betweens or whatever, so I don't like that the camera anticipates the move. So maybe we actually stagger this. Not stagger this, like make this come in a little earlier. Oh, I'm sorry, not a little earlier, a little later. Okay, so that's probably a better area. Hey, Green Monkey, hope you're doing great. Jiraj, it is good to see ya. I am doing great. Struggling through the trenches of creativity. All right, we go here, and in this move, we're kind of like right behind them, about to do the cock back. So we'll go here, and let's move that into position and stuff. Bum, bum, bum. This add-on is great though. The camera rig extension add-on thing. I can't believe I've been using the doing the camera stuff so manually before. I like this a lot. All right, and then we'll move here. We'll see that they're gaining the advantage now, going from down to up. I guess. Okay, so maybe something like this. We get them both in frame, gaining the advantage. Select both of them. Hit I. Think we're good. Boom, boom, boom. Sweep. And by here, we're like, they're on the left side already, so right there. All right, let's see. This looks like it's gonna be a fast camera move. And I don't think I keyframe the mannequins in a way that is the same as the reference, so we may have to take some liberties here. Like, let's just even see what this looks like. How you doing, Jiraj? All right, let's see what this looks like. Bum. I guess that could be like an anime shot where like they're holding that punch. Like, whoa, bam. I think we need to maybe even go further. Oh, so yeah, maybe that. Let's see. Cool. So wow, I think what's interesting is that cutting, since it's doing like a linear thing here, it's like whoop, pow. I think we want to, like right here, maybe push back a little. So G, Y, Y. So it kind of does an arc instead. I mean, let's see if that works. Who knows? Who knows? All right, maybe we'll erase the keyframes, but we'll go a little higher because I was doing it to a previous keyframe. So let's delete that one. Let's bring this. This would be, let me just see what this looks like. I kind of lose it here, the track of it. Decisions. I think it's not working. This is definitely, I mean, I guess the quick, I'm doing fairly well, struggling to meet a self-imposed deadline that are creepily becoming less and less self-imposed. Right? You put a self-imposed deadline and then you're like struggling to sweat and you're like, I should be nicer to myself. But yeah, self-imposed deadlines can always be difficult. Things for yourself always feel a little bit less important than things for other people. I think I struggle with that a lot too. I unfortunately, and I'm trying to get better, do the most and the best work when it's for somebody else, but then I'm upset that I'm doing somebody else's vision, you know? I'm like, why can't I do this for my stuff? And it's like, it's a constant back and forth. Okay, cool. So we're getting somewhere, I think. This is going like half the speed because I think my timeline is at 60 frames a second, which is like how fast the video is. But right now we're playing at 30 frames, so this is at half speed. All right, let's just finish it off here where we kind of like follow this here where they land. And we transfer the energy to them being up against the wall here. But yeah, self-imposed deadlines. Jiraj, I assume this is for school. I like how the punch is centered when it goes up. They do the cock back. We kind of push out. And then bam. It does kind of feel like we should be a little like this right now. So it's like. So like they come out of frame. Oh, that is much better. Boom. Yeah, still doing school project unless I'm doing procrastination in which I gaslight myself into believing it's productivity time. Yeah, it's definitely tough, right? Like, you always feel like you gotta hustle. But are you giving, for example, learning to use plug data? So first of all, what is plug data? But are you allotting relax time, or are you just like, or does your relaxed time come from you trying to be productive and then making your relaxing time productive? Bam. Like it's like visual programming for music. Oh, so like with like synths and like all the cables and stuff. Synths and drives and phases and stuff like that. I think this turned out really good. This punch I think turned out pretty decent here. I like that it follows the keyframes pretty good. Bam. I like that they come out of frame and we have to like catch up to it. Like bam. And then like the smoke comes out of the the way I see it is like hits the wall, the wall craters, dust and debris come out, and then we slow reveal them like against that wall, like bam. Honestly, it's a blending and blurring for me so much to the point I don't know when I'm just relaxing or working. I mean, different things work for different people, but you should definitely carve in some no thinking time, because then your relaxing time while you're supposed to be no thinking, you might just attribute it to your productive time, and then you just feel like you're like productive. You've just been on the entire time, and then you'll burn yourself out. But also, all my activities are centered on working on a PC and thinking a lot, which I need to start working out or just moving in general. Absolutely, you gotta get yourself. If you don't like going outside, get yourself like a bike, like a stationary bike, and you just like pedal. This isn't healthy in a span of longer time periods. Yeah, definitely, I agree. Something that's helped me a lot, once again, this doesn't help for everybody, is like I don't do this all the time. I just do this every now and then. But I do like the Pomodoro separation, but I don't do it with a timer. I do it with like a colored light, right? So like I have a video file that is just an image of a green square, and then at 15 minutes, my Pomodoro is 15 minutes. Sorry, my Pomodoro is 30 minutes working, 10 minutes relaxation, because I don't think 25 minutes is enough for working for me, and 5 minutes isn't enough for break time, because I do some pretty like intensive work sometimes. So like it'll be the video file would just be a green image for 15 minutes. At 15 it turns orange, and then at 29 to 30 it goes from orange to red, And then what I do is it allows me just to look at the color and not look at a timer ticking down like some pressure of like time, and it's more of like you're still good to go. You're still free to do the stuff, you know. But once again, it doesn't work for everybody. Different things work for different people. But on the flip side, just a few minutes ago, I finished my working station to living room instead of bedroom as it was till now. Oh yeah, separating that is super important. So at least we finally have work and sleeping space separated. Oh, that's good. Yes. Yes. That's how I have it. This is like a separate room from where I sleep. When I used to have it where I sleep, it was terrible. It doesn't feel good to like work, right? You're at the computer and then you just turn around and then you go to sleep. You know, there's like no context switching. And context switching is like super important in the sense of like your brain needs the context switch. And you need that divide, that ritual in between for separation. All right, so let's play this a couple times and then give myself notes. So yeah, I remain optimistic. Things are slowly moving in better places, literally. All right, so let's play this a couple times. I'm gonna do it on the big one here. Oh my god, it's like, I think going normal speed now. It goes so fast. Let's see how fast it's going. Oh yeah, and it's actually even faster. This is only going 40 frames a second. And I think the original is at 60. So this is like already like a super fast. I think we'd have to play a little bit with like the believability. Like there could be like like when we do that pan around, it could actually be more stretched out. And then I think right now we could probably start deviating from the source. So I'm gonna set the frame rate to what it's supposed to be, which I'm gonna do 30 frames, and we're gonna start finagling the timing on some of this stuff because I like it, but I think it just moves so fast. It's like we're doing slow, we're doing slow, we're doing fast. Bam! I think we'll that let me close it here. I think right when we get here, like we actually hold on this pose for a bit and it's like a slow motion camera move around, and then we do the full follow through of the punch where we're like bam, and then I think that still works there, so that can probably go to like a normal speed. But overall, I think it's getting there. It's getting there. All right, let's get this into the right thing. And maybe, once again, I feel like I did this whole approach for this entire thing wrong, but it's good because I got to learn that the thought in my head that I thought would be the easiest way or the best way or a good way maybe isn't the great way. Now it's out of my system, super important, and now we could do it a different way and feel like we are making progress. But this camera rig add-on, super cool. I like it. But yeah, let's work out this this thing here. How long have I been streaming so far? All right, an hour and a half. So maybe like 30 more minutes to an hour, and then we can call it. Okay, so let's keep going. So the first thing I'm gonna do is stop being a dummy. How I set this up, go into object mode, go into the camera mode, blah, blah, blah. Go into this output mode and change the frame rate to 30. All right. Let's see, does this play at normal speed? This is the normal speed. It's like in slow motion. And that should be like the normal speed. This is what I guess it looks like. It's super slow in the beginning. And I think we can play with some of the curves of the keyframes to kind of like smooth this out or make it look a little better. But we're definitely gonna play with that fast turn there. I think this is cool though, like posing the mannequins. It just took way too long, I think. Or maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I haven't done animation. I know animation takes a long time. Maybe it's a normal thing, but it took for 4 seconds of like posing these mannequins, it was like an hour each second, right? And I feel like that's a normal amount of time, but I feel like I could just do it faster if I did it a different way, but whatever. Josh, also, I don't mean to sound corny, but I find it really helpful having your stream play in the background as you work. I feel like I have a colleague working beside me. It helps me focus a bit better. That's actually very interesting and very that is something that people actually suggest. Is like there are some people that work better like in an environment where other people are working. I think there's like a website that you use that people use. I forget what it's called, like Into the Cave or something like that. And you basically have your webcam on, and then a bunch of people turn on their webcams, and then you guys like work side by side, and it like feels more productive and stuff. So some people really thrive off of like working next to a colleague, which is great. So I'm glad this is helping. For me, what's actually helpful about me streaming, and there's I think I'm gonna post the link. There is a YouTube video I watched. Let's see if I can find it. It's specifically about like working with like ADHD, but I think it applies to anybody who, whether you have ADHD or not. I think it's very good tips regardless. Let's see if I can find it. Let me not take too long, but let me. It's like a video podcast. Let's see. Oh man, I hate when I can't find something immediately. Illustrator. I think I found it. Sorry it took so long. I'm gonna post the link. Let's see which one it is. Looking. Okay, there it is. Okay, posting the link here. I also remember Skills used to stream on Spitfire's Discord as he worked. I suspect it was a similar reason. Yes, this is the link there. So basically, for me, it's not even working with other people. For me, what the streams help me do is that it actually helps me focus more, because when I'm on a stream, I have to kind of keep it interesting and talk through the stuff that I'm doing in a way that maybe is like entertaining, or you're seeing into my thought process for other people to find this like useful, instead of just me streaming in silence and stuff. So for me, a live stream forces me to talk out loud, while it's very easy for me to be working by myself and then start doing this and talking out loud and then get quiet because I'm like being too loud, or I just get lost in my thoughts or whatever. So this forces me to talk out loud, which makes me learn the thing that I'm talking about and like work out my thoughts out loud and like listen to myself. So that's particularly why I like streaming and not necessarily working with other people, but it is helpful if I was working on like a similar project with somebody and we're like chatting through the nitty gritty and stuff. So yeah, I think, and when I realized that about the live streaming, I tried to remember it and do it while I'm not live streaming, but I always like start doing it for a little bit, talking out loud. Like I'm talking much louder now than I would if I was by myself trying to do this. So, so yeah, I end up like talking out loud, and then like 30 minutes in, an hour in, I'm just like back to being silent and just like honed in, which could feel like I'm like really focused, but really it's just like I'm using all my energy and stuff. This allows me to be a little bit more open. Little inside mind baseball for you there. Okay. Anywho, so let's work through some of the timing on here, and let's diverge away now that we have kind of like the basics of like what our reference has. I'm going to start working through deviating from it and actually making it work for how I imagine it as like an animation or an anime fight scene or something like that. So now we're going away from the reference, so I'm going to take the reference away. I find myself annoying my girlfriend with this stuff often. Like I'm often starting out of nowhere like, man, I don't get why this doesn't work. Here's what I'm doing, and I proceed to explain for 10 minutes. Yeah, that's why I think programmers have it. I think it's like called rubber ducky. Like you're supposed to tell it to like a stuffed rubber duck or like a rubber duck. And it's the same thing, right? So basically, you just got to do that, except do it at the wall. Or what you could do is another helpful thing that maybe would help. Like if I didn't want to stream, is like maybe I should just record myself as I work, but like not streaming. So then like I'm recording a video, talking all loud. There's a reason for me to be talking out loud, and maybe that could help with with the focus. It also happens with me when I try to ask on Discord. Oh yeah. Yeah, talking out loud is, I think it's super important to talk through your thoughts. We have a lot of different senses, right? And, you know, we have our thoughts, right? Where we're thinking our thoughts. And then we get a second, it's all about like reinforcement of the information. So you're thinking the information, you're saying it out loud, so you're reinforcing it with like an auditory cue, so your brain is processing the same information, but just in a different way. And then there's even I would also recommend even at the end of a project or of a day, you write down all the things that you did and like what you thought about it and all that stuff. And then what that makes you do is it makes you think about it, it makes you articulate it, and then it makes you write it down, and then you have a hand memory. I grew up without the advancement of computers, as in there was a point in time where we wrote a lot of stuff by hand. So that's already ingrained in me that's a way to get information. So for me, typing things out, I will type something out and it's gone. I don't remember this information, right? I type, this is my thoughts about the project. But what I do remember is I remember thinking about the thought and then writing it and having to drag the pencil and do the thing. But that could just be a me thing, could be a generational thing or whatever. So once again, I'm always saying, it depends on the person. Anywho, boom, we've done. We do the thing. We go. We're going at 30 frames a second. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I think the first thing I want to do is fix this like pose here. Like I said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold on these poses, and we're basically doing like a matrix rotation shot, and then we'll do the punch. So let's bring back our hero and villain. Gerard said, that's kind of what my professor suggested to me for overcoming problems with trying to write a script for my project. He was like, just write about 10 of them, no matter the quality. It'll get better. Yeah, we do our best work at rewriting, redoing. Doing something perfect the first time, I would argue, most people not necessarily can't do, but like, how do you know you did the best thing until you do other things to compare it to, you know? Okay. So let's hold on both of these keyframes. So I'm gonna select both of the armatures and hit Control Tab. We're in pose mode, and I'm gonna look at these keyframes. Oh my god, so many. I think I overly did this. All right, so we're gonna go in here, and we're gonna hold on this pose. So it's this keyframe. But it looks like the villain doesn't have it keyframed, right? Is that what's happening? Oh no, the villain. Yeah, the villain doesn't have it keyframed. So let's keyframe the villain. So we'll hit I. Cool. So now everything's keyframed, and then we're going to just hold that keyframe much longer. So we'll select all the keyframes after. I think I could do this without this uncollapsed. Okay, so we go bam, we move up, whoosh, and then we'll hold on to this. So I'm just gonna grab all these keyframes, hit G, move them along. So we hold on to them, and then maybe like, oh man, this might mess up the camera. It's fine, we'll fix the camera. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So then we'll hold it just a little longer right there. So it's like, no, I guess it still works. Boof. So we're going ba ba ba. Ah, it feels the same. Maybe we can hold on this, like that punch, and we just like really hold on that. So let me get out of pose mode. And select also the camera plus our armatures, so we can just edit everything at the same time. Go back to pose mode. Okay, now we can edit everything, I think. Yeah. Okay. So boom, that's the punch right here. And what we'll do is this dolly can be keyframed, so we'll keyframe the dolly or the camera, not with you, with I. Okay, and then I think we will copy these keyframes. We'll just select all these, we'll hit Shift D, we'll duplicate them, and then we'll hold on to them. So we'll go poof. I'm like making the sound effects. Bam! Kapowie! Wham! But yeah, I think it gives it like, this will be like that shot where like the colors get inverted and like, you know, there's like, what is it, the speed lines? The speed lines are coming through. So, and honestly, maybe this last part goes too slow. So what I'll do is I'll put my cursor on the keyframe at the end. I'll select the other keyframes, including the one I'm on, and I think if I hit S, we'll shorten that a little bit there. Let's see what that looks like. There's definitely some juice you can add at the end of this hit. Like the camera overshooting it, like let's see if we could just do something crazy where we select the keyframe of the camera, we hit T, and we'll do bounce. This usually never works, but let's see if it does. Did it even bounce? Hold on. I don't think it bounced. Is that even working? Elastic? I feel like it's not doing what I think it should. Like if we do bounce back, it doesn't even look like it's doing anything. Usually what it does is that it'll overextend the keyframes within the graph editor, and then it goes like back and forth, kind of like we're like, woof, and we're trying to like hold ourselves. I may have to do it manually, so we'll put this back to Bezier. And the movement that we want to change is, what is it? Oh, so the camera's not bouncing because really what should be keyframe is the aim, right? So the aim is supposed to be bouncing like, oop, not that. Like this, the rotational aim. And okay, so then it would be these guys that turn into a bounce. I'm telling you, this bounce is supposed to be doing something here. I believe you need to change the bounce on the keyframe before. Now, you are thinking. Let's see if that's true. We'll select both of these and we'll hit bounce. Oh, you're right. Like it sets the interpolation, the time after. You're absolutely right. That fixed it. I don't know if after all that thinking and work, does that even work? I don't think so. I think because it bounces. Maybe we should extend this aim position. Let's see, what if we do this? Oh my god. Is Blender crashing? Jesus Christ! What were you even doing, Blender? Okay, let's try this again. Let's see if there's an auto save. I think I saved. Last session. How about auto save? Let's see. March 31st was my last auto save. Today's not March 31st. Do I have auto save on? Last session. That's not the session I wanted. This sucks. I gotta see if I have auto save. Really? No, you want to do autosave, not last session. Yeah, and my autosave doesn't have anything that's new. It's March 31st. Like it's not this, right? Nope. Lame. Please tell me I saved it. I think we're good. I think. Are we? Did I change this to 30 frames a second? No. Lame. I did. So file, recover, autosave, and it only has one file. It's the quit file. March 31st is the last date modified. Today is not that date. I mean, I have autosave on. You're like, okay, I'm sorry. You don't have to be sorry. I should just know this lesson by now. It's been 10 years. Okay. It says it has autosave every 2 minutes. But it doesn't have it in there. That's so frustrating. All right. Yeah, super weird. Anyway, luckily it's not too far behind. So let's just redo this again. Change this to 30 frames a second. Watch what we're doing here. Blah, 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 blah. Go in. We're going to fix the punch here by holding in the punch. We're going to bring back our hero. And we're going to choose our hero, our villain, and the camera rig. And then we're going to hit pose mode so that we can do all of it. We'll select our hero. Actually, let's not do the camera rig yet. Let's just choose the hero and the villain. We'll do pose mode, select all. We'll select the pose that we're going to hold on to. So we'll hold on to this pose. The arm is glitching out, but we'll fix that now. We'll actually just fix it right now. There. Okay, so we select all that. We'll hit I. Da, da, da. We will then hold on to this by hitting Shift D. Hold on to that keyframe. And then do the punch. And then the punch here. We will do the same thing. We'll hit I. We will hold on to that frame. We'll go onto this keyframe. We will select everything after it. We will hit S to make it shorter. Oops. We'll try and follow the camera a little faster here. Oh, no, yeah. So this is good now. Now we're going to fix the camera. We go to object mode. Now we select this. I hit Control S for save. I'll bring my screencast keys so we can see it. You can see what I'm pressing here. Control S. Okay, we'll bring our hero, our villain, our dolly. We will go to pose mode. Okay, so we're like, bam. So I did not bring the dolly in. What's happening here? Dolly, pose, select all. Okay, there's our so we're gonna make our camera come in a little faster here since we're speeding everything up. Let's play this out. Control S for save, because we will save. Swoosh, run, there. It obviously kind of speeds up a little too fast still for me, but let's see if we can fix it. I think now that I have both, I think I'm going to extend the rotation a bit here. So it goes. Okay, cool. We'll hold on to these keyframes. We'll bring them out a bit there. So it goes. Okay, we'll bring our camera keyframes. We'll bring them out a bit. Let's see. Okay, I think we're back to where we originally were. All right. What a hassle. I gotta really investigate why this isn't auto-saving though. Like, this should definitely be saving. Anyway. Let's see, how long have I been streaming here? Hour and 50. Okay, so I should stay on. I'll be on for a little longer, and then we can call it. Okay, cool. So let's play this. Now that we're back to where we were, I'm getting reoriented again. Let's play out this scene, and see what this looks like. I think this is working for me, except for the beginning. We'll fix that right now. And I think we could do that with some curves. I like the anticipation punch thing here going on. So we're like, woof. Bam. Cool. I like. So we'll hit Control S again. We're gonna go to the dolly aim, and then we're gonna, like you said, back where we were, we're gonna make the bounce happen on the Y, just to see if that makes it cool. How about the back? Instead of bounce, we'll do back. Interesting. Okay, so I think what I need to do is make an extra keyframe for the aim, and then do a bounce on that. So let's do that right here. T back. Okay. Okay, obviously this doesn't make any sense. So let me get the aim. Let's overshoot it like this. Hit I and see if that changes anything. I think this is working for me. Like if we super overshoot it, all right, like we hit I, oh sorry, we hit G, and we like super overshoot it. Let's see what that looks like. But I don't think I'm gonna like this. But yep, I don't like it. We'll just do a small overshoot. It's kind of going diagonal down. I don't like that. So let's copy it again. We'll copy this. And we'll overshoot it like this. Okay. The diagonal down's interesting. So let's move it up. Or does that make it more diagonal, actually? So we start up high, and then we go low, and then high. So we will actually go down, hit I, and see if that makes it better. Okay, I'm doing something backwards here, so. All right, let's start over. Control C. So I'm going to change this transform orientation to view. So I'm only transforming it on the view. And we're overshooting it like this. And now we're going to put that back to global. We'll hit I. And let's see what that does. There we go. Now it's not going like a diagonal down. I wonder if making it shorter would make it nicer. Nah, we'll just leave it. Okay. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right, so we overshot it. Boom. Now what I don't like about this, let's see, is the beginning. I think it's like super slow. Obviously the action's happening in there, but I think I like that ending there. So boom. Oh, let me turn that wall back on. Oh man, the wall ruins it. That's funny, but not funny. So instead of a wall, let's make it just like a box. So this wall doesn't ruin this. So we're gonna get this wall and just make it so it is a kind of like a little ledge here. That should fix that problem. All right, okay, sorry if that's annoying. All right, okay. Macklemore. Isn't that Matthew McConaughey? Oh, Macklemore has a song like that. Okay. I thought we were referencing Matthew McConaughey. Okay. We're going, we're moving, we're jiving, we're doing it. Let's fix that whole intro part. Boom, bam. Okay. Okay. So now it's the Can't Hold Us song. Okay. I've heard of it. I remember that song now. Good thing putting that wall solved that issue. Putting the wall down. All right, so let's think about this. I used to listen to it a lot. Sometime in the beginning of high school years. Oh, your high school music. My high school music varies from like rock to rap to dance music. I had all the phases in high school. All right, so for this camera, I think I just want it to go faster, and I think we could do that with the graph editor to fix the lines. So instead of going into the dope sheet, we'll go into the graph editor, but I'm going to make another panel here. So we'll keep the dope sheet there, and now we'll go into the graph editor here. Okay, and now we're in the bones. We're looking at all the keyframes. We'll hit home on this. We'll bring it bigger so I can see it bigger. Home. Great. So now we can see all the movements here. And I think the first thing I want to try is the y-axis on the camera movement itself. So let's pick the camera, and let's pick the, instead of rotation, we'll do, honestly, we should probably just erase the rotation because I don't think I keyframe anything rotation-wise on this. So let's go to the dope sheet real quick. I think we can erase all these. I think. Let's see. Let's see if that ruined anything. Because it's looking at it with a constraint, so I don't think it's rotating at all. Yeah, okay. See, too many keyframes. Add in way too many. So, all right, so we got this. We're like, well, bam. Well, bam. Whoosh. Okay, so let's go back to our graph editor, and I think it's the y-axis that I'm looking at here. And now let's just mess with some stuff, just to see for some funds. Let's see. It does some stupid stuff. Okay, how about this one? Look at this. Whoosh. You know, we can also bring it up. Gets real close. All right, this is not what I want to do. There's something else I want to do here. I think it's the keyframes that I have to work through here. So, okay, so it's the keyframes and maybe some graph, but so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keyframe about halfway through it. The keyframes here. I select the channels, and then I'm going to move it so then we could do something slow. Like, what if we do something like, okay, wrong place. We're gonna do the same thing, but it was in the wrong place. Let's see. So we're gonna keyframe right in the beginning. So this like little move here, and then keyframe this, hit I, select the keyframes, and then we're just gonna move those keyframes to the end, close to the end. So what we're doing is we're moving real slow here. Oh, I should probably do the rotation too. Oh no, I should do the aim too. So that's what's happening here. Okay, so I was, the biggest issue is that I'm not doing both keyframes here. All right, for right now, we'll get rid of the graph editor. Just work in the dope sheet. Okay. I have music in the background, and last time I had DMC free music, it worked for like an entire year, and then a year came, and then some like patent troll or whatever came, and they just like hit all my live streams, every single one, because of the background music that I was using, even though when I used it, it was DMCA free, but maybe at some point it changed, and then I suffered for it. So I'm even like I want there to be some background music on this, but I also, it's like annoying. Anyway, that was a tangent there. So let's make sure for aim, for both of these, we are selecting our locations for all these. And we're doing what I said before. We're gonna get into like frame 15. We'll hit I, only selected. And then we'll bring those keyframes to the end. Now we'll adjust from there. So we'll do the hit there. How about we do it like right there? So we're stretching out that beginning part. I don't know. I still feel like we need to go a little faster here. Like, I feel like a lot of these moments are like gonna be like when the connection makes, it's gonna be like pause for impact type of thing. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see. Boom. And honestly, maybe right on impact, like we go from here. So we'll copy all these. We'll hit D for duplicate. And then right when we hit it, boom, like right there, we maybe move the camera a little closer. So we'll select the camera, hit G and then Y twice. And then hit I, select the groups. Okay. So then it's like, oh, it didn't even push in. What the hell? Did I press something wrong? All right, let's try it again. So like this. All right, we're getting closer to what I'm envisioning, but what I'm envisioning maybe isn't great. So let's see. Maybe instead of a camera move, it's like a focal plane, focal length, like zoom. Yeah, let's try that. So we're undoing a bunch. All right. This part can almost seem like super boring since it's just like micro changes here and there. We'll also try to channel 0 here. Let's start, or on frame 0. All right, let's see the focal length. Let's try that, see if that works. All right, let's do an eye on there. And let's do like a push in to 60. Maybe that works. Or maybe we start at a 40 and go to 50. So let's do that. 40 and then we'll go to 50. That makes more sense. Okay, so I sort of like that. It's a little fast for my taste, but maybe we just extend it a bit more. Maybe we move it as well, something like this. And what if we did the bounce back on interpolation on the focal length? That's interesting. Just bam. Sort of interesting. I don't know if I love it. We'll move on. Shouldn't spend too much time. Another thing that streaming does is, not besides talking out through the problems and talking out through the stuff, is that like, it also forces me to move on and not spend like a crap ton of time in something. Because right now I don't really like this push in, but I do want some sort of impact. And we're just gonna move on because it's just not fun to sit here and finagle too much on it. So anyway, we're going. We'll go bam. And then now, let's see what moving these keyframes a little closer would be. It would be like bam. So bam. So like they get hit, we have a pause, they're falling backwards. Like maybe this keyframe to this keyframe needs to be like quicker, right? So let's see. So bam. So this takes forever. So let's see if we can bring it in faster. So punch. Yeah, I think that's good because it's like the punch, that moment, the impact frame, the energy and force behind it, and then we see them drag on the ground. Then they get up, right? So bam. So for that kick, that like kick that they duck under, I wonder what can make this a little bit more fun. Like pushing in, either focally, maybe even just looking down as they duck. Like move both the camera down and the viewpoint down. It could be fun. So it's like, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. And that'll be like around here. Okay. I'm having so much fun just looking at it. Yeah. All right. So let's do it from right. Let's move all the camera stuff higher up. So maybe like right here. So then when we're doing the duck under, we're just gonna duplicate this because we're gonna hold it, right? So it's like, no, maybe not duplicate. We'll just put in where the camera is supposed to do here. So we'll make the camera, will the camera go down? No, the viewpoint will go down like this. Maybe even the viewpoint like that. Okay. Oh, I have to reset it again. So we look down and we also move down. Honestly, I'm just gonna put I'm just gonna put, what is it, active keying? Auto keying. We'll just do the auto keying. Might as well. Okay. So it goes. I don't like that the camera anticipates the kick, or maybe they see it coming, but. And we're gonna go straight back up to the original position here. So let's just duplicate these keys there. Now we're just finagling here. I think we go down way too much, honestly. So let's move the camera up. Maybe it's just a look down and not. All right, let's erase these keyframes and try it again. Oh, I'm messing some keyframes up here. Let's go back. Before all this. I don't know what happened, but I think I messed up the hero keyframes and stuff. Let me make sure that I am unselecting the hero and we just have the camera on for right now. Okay. Okay. Control S for saving. And we're doing good. So boom, punch, duck. And I think, yeah, like I said, this duck probably is better if it's like. And maybe we. And maybe we bring this in faster. Okay, we're slowly getting there. Go in. So let's bring this back up to where it was. We'll hold on to these keyframes, so it'll be like. I think in this point right here, like right about here, I want to see that, like, read that the character's gonna jump on this thing, because you kind of can see it or no or whatever, but let's see. Like if we were to grab it and then like really show it, let's see what that looks like. Like at this point here, should we be like maybe pushed back so we can see the actual move? Let's see. Like something like we're pushed back here. Maybe we look a little further down, maybe a little to the right. And we can like really see that they're like jumping onto that ledge. Let's see if that works out a little better. I think it works. I think it would probably make it even more obvious. So like we really go here. Maybe we really bring it up. Like maybe this is too ridiculous, but we'll see. I think that reads. All right, let's save. Let's erase this keyframe, because that's dumb. Okay, save. And let's take this auto keyframing off or whatever. There we go. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. Kind of at speed. Ooh, there you go. That's good. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. What is it? H Dun DJ? GDNFN? Hard name to read. All right. Whoosh. Yeah, I think this is working. I can't believe it. Like, I'm kind of surprised, but you know, because it's so ugly in the beginning. I'm not sure about the duck down though, but you know, maybe it works. Because yeah, right here when they're jumping, they'll be like slowly moving. Oh my god, I'm so happy I saved because it crashed again. Do I have an autosave? See, this autosave is not correct. I gotta figure out. Gotta figure out what's happening there. Anyway, good thing I saved. I wonder what's making it crash though. I wonder if it's like anything I'm doing in particular. This is like a pretty vanilla install of Blender. Could be my graphics card and stuff. I did have some issues in the beginning when I installed my graphic card. Oops. There we go. Oh, where are my walls? Why aren't they appearing here? What? What in tarnations? Where are the walls in this? Do I have them hidden? What a weird glitch. Let's refresh this again. Let's go to revert. Okay. I don't know what is happening right now. Okay. Okay, I think the last thing I'm gonna do is add in a pause on the second impact punch, and then I'm gonna call it. And then on the next session, I'm gonna start doing my drawings over it and seeing if I can get anything cool and start figuring out how then to build this. I didn't want to copy the camera from the reference, but I gave up on that, and next clip that I do, I will set it up in a way where I can pick the camera angle instead. But I wanted to get something done here, so this is nice. So yeah, we're gonna look at the camera here right when we make impact, which is right here. Boom. So let's zoom in here. We'll do the impact. We'll go bam bam. We'll swimming in. We go, and I think we're gonna get. I want to get here and then pause. So I'm gonna select these guys. We're gonna hit I, select the channels. We're gonna select both of the keyframes. And then right when the impact happens, this is where we're gonna be, right here. So right, because we're like almost in the center. So actually, instead of doing this, that's more like here. This is what I want. My nose. Key sign phenomenon. Yes. The nose is destroyed. You will not be smelling it, the roses or the coffee. All right, let's see. So we're gonna go bam. Hello, hello. Boom. So on the punch. So there. So we'll just get this and we'll just get it right here. And then we'll hold on to it by duplicating it. By the way, nice hair. Thank you, thank you. It's been growing a long time. Yeah, so I like that little pause I have for like the impact frame. So ba-da-da, bam. Bam. All right, let's see it bigger. Bam. The first punch is longer to like really show the impact, and the second punch is a little bit faster just to show the speed. Oh my god, it crashed again. So it crashes when it's like playing over and over and over again. I hit save, right? I did. Thank goodness. Yeah, so the way I see this, I'm pretty much done with this stream, but we'll go over my thoughts for myself mostly. So yeah, so it looks pretty good. We got the first impact, and then like in an anime fashion, it'll be like punch, and then when that happens, it'll be like it'll be like an impact frame, and then like tons of like energy being expelled from the point of impact. So it's a little longer. So it's like, and then we'll flash to them sliding on the ground. They duck under it, and then there's a strong energy that goes through there. Whoosh. Then they go. We see that they're going to jump on the thing. We do a pause. This is where it goes slow motion. We do like a matrix camera rotate around, and then we do continue the animation. We do the impact frame, bam, and then when they hit the wall, it'll be like debris falling out first. You'll see the debris, and then we're gonna then catch up to the character, kind of like defeated against the wall or whatever. So I think that's what we're gonna be doing here. Let's see if I have enough. Yeah, maybe we stop it at 300. There we go. Boom. Yeah, I think it's probably going to crash again as I keep playing it. But I think that's pretty good. I think we made some headway. I've been streaming for how long here? 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think this is a nice length of a stream. We'll play it one more time. I'm just pretty happy with where it's going. And then next Sunday we'll continue either tweaking the camera, or we'll start doing our drawings and start actually like fleshing out this scene to make it look cool or whatnot. Bam, whoosh, fa, bam. Because I definitely want to practice my draftsmanship skills a bit. Oh, it crashed again. So like scrubbing through kind of like crashes it. Anyway, so I'm going to call it here, guys. Thank you guys for joining me on the stream today. Another Sunday in the books. I'm glad I was able to do it. Sometimes it's hard to stream and get up and do it, but I always feel so good after a stream. I just got to remember the good feeling I get afterwards. Because it helps me a lot, and it fulfills that creative itch. So thank you, Jiraj, for keeping me company here. Thank you, Jim, who helped me out with a question I had earlier, so that was great. Thank you, Key, for being here. And who else is here? Who else is here? Yeah, Jim, Lightbox, Digital Artist, and Dunn. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys have a great, and thanks for the tips on the video. Yes, Jiraj, definitely check out that video. I think it's exactly what we were talking about. Anywho, have a great day, have a great weekend, have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday. I'm going to do every Sunday and then eventually work up to doing more days because I love doing this stuff. So take care, guys. See you later, and have a good one. Bye-bye. You have a great one, too.